All right, what's going on, guys? It's Chris Z here. We're about to do another video, and today's going to be what is God? Because this is a question that everybody should know the answer. Hold up. Y'all get serious right now. All right, what is God? And what is his purpose for us in this universe? Well, let's just get right into it because Christianity, religion in general, all these things. Sorry, my brain is turning off right now. It is just difficult for me to process all the words I'm trying to say. But that's what I got the slides for. Now I think about it. That's why I got these slides. So I'm not even gonna talk. Really, I'm gonna just read off these slides, and if I have anything extra to add to it, I'm gonna add to it. Because I cannot go off the dome right now. All right, so different interpretations of God. God, noun God, plural noun gods, plural noun the gods. All right. In Christianity and other monotheistic religion, the creator and ruler of the universe and source of all moral authority. Remember that word, the supreme being. All right, let's say in certain other religions, either polytheistic or neither mono or poly, a superhuman being or spirit worshipped as having power over nature, human forces, a deity, a moon god, for example. My interpretation, it's not one or the other. It has to be both. The creator and ruler of the universe and all sorts of moral authority, the supreme being and spiritual force worshipped for having power over nature and human fortunes. Now that's gonna sound crazy. We're about to see why. Well, who am I? First, you all know. So I ain't no atheist. I grew up in church all my life. I was born in a Pentecostal church, and I still go there to this day. I have super devout parents, you know what I mean? But they ain't crazy to the point where if you do anything that is not of God, you know what I mean? They're very understanding people, and I'm blessed, grateful for them every single day. Went to Bible study, still go to Bible study. Today is Sunday, so I had a Bible study call earlier today with this whole, Rona going on. Yeah, and usually when I went to Bible study, my pastor is also a history major, so he knows a lot of context when it comes to the Bible. Because when you be reading this book, sometimes you just don't know what it be saying. Went to Catholic school for 8 years, middle school and high school, and I took religion classes in school and participated in mass when it was held. So I basically grew up with two perspectives. I grew up family-wise and church-wise with a Protestant perspective, but I went to school-wise, education-wise, friends-wise, a Catholic perspective. So I got both sides of the story, so I know them in detail. And I do personally have faith and knowledge in God and attend church on Sunday to this day. But there's one thing I gotta tell you. For me, everything didn't add up. But before we get there, let's do this. Why is my definition both? Well, let's break it down. Monotheistic beliefs. So the monotheistic beliefs made a claim in this definition, which you can find on Google. This is just a very good general definition that's not gonna piss anybody off. And they say the creator and ruler of the universe. I'm pretty sure everybody considers God when it comes to that part. Like anybody in any religion, for this first part, the creator and ruler of the universe, they can consider the God for that. But the source of all moral authority, this is the part that gets people mad when they're talking about monotheistic religions. So how do they have that claim? How do they justify God being the moral superiority of the universe and the supreme being? Polytheistic belief. They make a claim that God is a superhuman being worshipped for having power over nature and human forces. Well, if you're monotheistic, you already believe God was not a superhuman being. You believe God is just everything all around you. He is the creator in heaven, and then he probably sent down some version of a prophet or a human God type figure to save people. Monotheistic beliefs and justification. All right. Beliefs in Christianity and other monotheistic religion. All right, yeah, this is just the example. This is just the definition. This is the justification. The faith in writings in their sacred scriptures are true and ordained by God Himself. Give God all moral authority. So for you don't know, I'm gonna do a basic history breakdown of the church and things like that, right? Because I know about this. Sacred scripture is basically these books. You know what I mean? Catholicism, the Bible. This is also a version of the Bible. This is the Quran. This would be the Quran, and this would be the Torah. These books, you know how Christians, when they say it is written in the Bible, they Christians, Jews, Muslims don't matter. If it's written in this book, if it's in this book, it must be true. A doctrine, right? They believe that, and is ordained by God Himself. There, in all of these religions, usually they have people who review this book and decide how many pages there are. Because not every version of the Bible, even this is talking about the Bible. Forget about the Torah or the Quran for a second. Just in the Bible, there is different versions of the Bible that have different words, obviously, but some versions of the Bible have different books entirely. Like I don't know how many books this one has, but there's usually a version of the Bible that has an extra 6 to 11 books, I think, and then a version that doesn't have those extra books in it. And there are more books that we don't even know about that we haven't been told about yet. So, and the people who they get to decide, the priests, the pastors, the bishops, or whatever, they believe that the decision that they made has been ordained by God. So it is now their religious doctrine and faith. Doctrine meaning is just a belief system that they hold to be true and they justify it with faith. So it's the same for every book, basically. Now, morality, disclaimer morality. What is morality? Principles concerning the distinction between right and wrong or good and bad behavior. A particular system of values and principles of conduct, especially one held by a specified person or society. All current accepted principles about morality date back to the teachings in this book going about 6,000 years. So, religion popped up into the world 6,000 years ago. That was the first and oldest known religion by history majors is Hinduism. Hinduism is the first major one that was spread around the world. Then a couple thousand years later, around a couple thousand years later, other major religions started coming in. All I know is what came first is not the Bible, but the Torah, the Judaism faith. That one came first about 4 to 6,000 years ago. Then somewhere down the line is debated that either versions of the Quran, not a complete version, but versions of the Quran came right after, around somewhere in the in between time. And then about 2,000 years, no, about 4,000 years after that. All right, let me break my words down. What am I trying to say? Let's just make it easy. 6,000 years ago, the people who believed in Adam and Eve, the great flood, that things like that popped up. 4,000 years ago, Moses, the Israelites, 10 Commandments, Judaism. 2,000 years ago, Christianity. Simple as that. And now we're here today. And everything that you know about music, culture, ethics, love, respect, free will, is it right to do X, Y, and Z, all stem from this book or the Torah or the teachings and scrolls that come before it. Again, here's some books. Some people use self-help books, right? Self-help books. How to Win Friends and Influence People, a really great one. Awaken the Giant Within. All of these things are based off a teaching that come from one of these books, right? You have teachers like Gandhi. He was a person who got information from probably one or all of these books altogether. You have movies that have symbolism of peace, love, greatness, kindness, humanity. The Constitution has moral ethics and standards in it from some of these books. Another form of music, Bob Marley, people, peace, love, all of these things that people get today have stemmed from this book. Now, does that mean that it originated from these things? No. There's actually proof and facts that it did not. It actually originated from even earlier civilizations that did not have these ethics and moral standards under a religious sense. They just had them in their society to let people know people didn't necessarily worship a religion or worship a god that gave them these moral or ethics. So basically what I'm saying is all of the all of the languages in this book did not come from this book or the book before it or even the book before that one. These moral and ethics are not specific to religion at all. They come before and you can find information on them. But that we're not talking about that today. So this does not mean morality comes from scripture. This is just for the modern era, as far back as 6,000 years ago, that has affected the events of the world leading up to today come from this. Now let's talk about polytheistic beliefs and justification. Uh, Basically, superhuman being or spirit worship with having power over nature, human forces, a deity. And in most monotheistic religions, they throw out the idea of things like angels, devils, other gods, things like that. It's like, no, just one God and it's that entirely, and that's it. When in reality, if you actually read this book, because 99% of people in the world do not actually know how to read any of these books, there are other gods, angels, demons, magic, all of that, everything. I'm telling you, everything you know about today, everything you know about today was a variation of something that we originally learned or took from in these books. All of the stories and myths we have today came from something in this book, either directly or indirectly. There's really nothing that did not come from one of these books that we have today. Everything we know, we basically got from here, whether you want to admit it or not. It's just a fact. And their justification for believing in other gods and things like that. In some of these things, some of these are polytheistic. The faith and writings in their version of the sacred books are true. However, they did not like just believe it to be doctrine. They actually use systems. They use systems such as astrology, numerology, cosmology, and other divination. Basically, today we have what we call modern science, and back in the day, these sciences were a lot more used. Now they're just called pseudosciences, which basically mean the scientific community today, a good proportion of them are saying this shit is fake. And they just dismiss it. No, it's fake. It doesn't exist. It's not real. And I'm here to tell you that is a completely wrong stance to take because there is systems of astrology, numerology, cosmology, and other divination. And divination means basically prophesizing, foretelling, seeing the future, predicting events that are going to happen, a sort of seeing what's going to happen and seeing fate. Another thing people don't want to talk about. They want to say, no, we have complete and utter control of our lives. There's no such thing as fate. And yes and no. The true answer is yes and no, but for most people, it's no or yes. It's yes and no. It just depends how you look at it. Examples: Taoism, Shintoism, Chinese folk, all these other things, bro. All these Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee type things that people see on the movies, or just like these ancient quotes, flow like water. You have to flow like water, or you hit hard, you crash, things like that. All came from the use of these things. This was their science back then. The one thing about polytheistic beliefs and other religions that are not monotheistic, a lot of people don't know is that they use a lot of sciences. Like I'm telling you, bro, they used sciences to back up their claims. For the longest time in monotheistic religion, there was a split between fully just word of this and science. People were on the side of it is just science or it is just the Bible for the longest time. It's only like around the last like 50 to 100 years we finally started saying, okay, maybe it's kind of both modern science and religion at the same time. But even then, even though they got closer to the truth, still not the whole picture, still not the whole story. These systems are used in everything we have today: calendars, the use of astrology, current equations and formulas for math, a combination of astrology, numerology, cosmology, they all stem from this. And the evolution of modern day science is just really, people started to use all those old sciences. They found a new, better version of science and now decided to throw out all those other sciences like they didn't have any basis to them. Some of these teachings can be found in even the monotheistic scriptures. The thing people don't understand about this book, some people say it's 100% real, some people say it's 100% fake, and some people say some things are real and some things are not. And the answer is, again, depends how you look on it. Because if you want to say it's 100% fake, yes. If you want to say it's 100% real, yes. If you want to say it's somewhere in the middle, yes. Depends on how you look on it. These are some things that they don't really teach you in school, but they are like everywhere. You can see them everywhere, and I'll give you an example. Fractals, the Fibonacci sequence, pi, 3.14, that thing you probably learned in school. Phi, I didn't even learn that. Divinic ratio, the Diviniac sequence represent the ascending and relative knowledge of the absolute wisdom of Diviniac, the divine constant, with which the perfect and most beautiful objects of the universe and nature are designed and created. This is the ultimate revealed truth. Professor Shiv Bhushan Sharma. Now, what is he talking about? Let me break it down to you. There are patterns in this world that people cannot explain why they are there, but they are there for a fact. For the people who just want to say that God does not exist or this universe is completely random, from the perspective of this 3D plane that we live in, this three-dimensional world, you are wrong. And I'll tell you why you are wrong. The reason why we cannot just be a random thing, random ball floating in the random part of a random thing of random shit is because of this. This is an example of the Fibonacci sequence. If you see this picture, what is that? That's a galaxy. What if you look at this picture? What is this? That's a flower. This is a plant. This is a tornado. This is another flower. This is a shell. And as you see, there's a common thing between all three of them, or all six of them. And that is there's a spiral that's being formed. So how can you say the universe is random if you look at a galaxy, you see a spiral on a big scale? You look at the planet Earth, you see a typhoon or a hurricane, and they form the exact way. That's a spiral. You see a flower in your backyard, you see a spiral. You look at an animal or a creature like a snail, you'll see a spiral. This spiral exists all throughout nature, on the big frame, on the little frame. Even if you look inside your body, you'll find spirals. Your body goes through systems, spirals, but we don't even necessarily call them spirals. We call them circles, systems of belief. Your mind, you're running around in circles. Some people feel they're lost. They're running around in circles. It's all the same thing. This is not random. There is no way that something on this big of a scale is affecting us on this little of a scale. It doesn't make any sense for it to be random. And another thing, fractals. Fractals are like a tree branch. There are choices, the choices and decisions you make in life are fractals. Whether you decide to take a hike up a mountain or you decide to take a car up a mountain, whether you decide to brush your teeth this morning or not, tie your shoes or not. These are fractals branching off paths from a singular point. They are all branching off paths from a singular point. Y'all understand this. Y'all gonna understand this. I got you. Think about it. River networks, fault lines, mountain ranges. I'm gonna hold up. Let's do some research together. Or you guys are learning along with me because I'm learning some things through tornado. No, not even tornado. Wrong thing. Boom. Look at a lightning bolt. Look, look how many branching paths Look at it. Look. Why does it spread out like that? When lightning strikes, why does it spread out like that? Why? Okay, now let's look at river. Okay, let's look at river valley. Okay. Let's look at this. A river valley. That's a good. It's an image too. It's spreading out. It's doing path. There are different paths. Why are there paths like this? What? Look at this one. This is an even better image. Look, goes here, spreads here, kind of there, kind of that. These are paths. Why? Why does it spread out like that? I don't get it. Why does it spread out? Huh? Like if you really think about it, why does it spread out like this? Why are there spreads? What is a mountain range? All right, let me do a mountain range. Let's see. Mount Valley or mountain range or whatever. Same thing? Is it the same thing? But another good one. Why are there spreads? Why are there spread? Why does it spread out like that? What does a lightning bolt and a mountain range and a freaking tree? Just look at a tree, bro. Look at a tree. What is this? Why does this look like a lightning? Why does it do the same pattern as a lightning bolt? Explain that to me. Explain that to me. Dead ass. Somebody explain that to me. Why does it look like a lightning bolt? Why does it look like a mountain and valley range? Why is there so many similes in the Bible referring to the tree of life, Adam and Eve, spread your seed, grow like the generation. Your generation will spread out and number the star. Why are there so many similes? What is this thing about the tree? Why do these patterns exist? What does a mountain have to do with a tree? What does a tree have to do with a lightning bolt? What does the lightning bolt have to do with the decisions you make in your mind? Why are these patterns here and why do they exist? You cannot tell me you can do not see these things and they're all just chance. Yes, they're all chance, they're all just coincidence. That makes sense. Whatever that means, coincidence. And why do people separate? Toxic belief systems. People are told and given belief systems since the day they are born. You come into this world, you're given a choice. I'm sorry, you're not even given a choice. That's wrong. You come into this world, you are born, you get a family, they put you into whatever faith that they want. When you're a baby, you don't know anything. All babies do is imprint. And imprint means they latch on to things. They latch on, they just look around and they start processing things and they start picking things up from people around them. They pick up language, they pick up how to walk by seeing people walk. They pick up body heat language, expressions, tonalities, everything. And for a lot of us, especially if you're in the religious aspect or religious faith of the world, you start to realize that a lot of people are just thrown into a religion when they are born or told by their parents or other people around them, you will be this religion, you will be this faith, you will go to this church, you will go to this school, and you will believe this. You don't have a say in the matter. They put thoughts and ideas into your head and then you seem and say that they are good. And they're not bad at first. They're not bad. When you usually follow these rules, good things tend to happen to you. You get better grades, people treat you nicer, you feel better, you eat better, you look better, you think better. So at first you think, oh, these programs or things that I'm learning must be good for me because my life is doing so well right now. It's helping and serving me right now. But then you start to get older and then you start seeing problems in the world. Life gets harder. You got to go to school. You got to take tests. You got to prepare for college. You got to learn how to do your taxes. You got to drive your car. You got to pay for your house bill, your mortgage. And then you start saying, damn, life ain't as easy as it used to be. And this belief system that I'm believing in doesn't necessarily help me with these problems. And in some cases, it even tells me to do the opposite. Then you get to that point in your life where you realize when you're in church or whatever. Let's just use the example that you've been going to church all your life. Just to make it simple. Then you get to a point in your life where you realize that, do I really need to go to church? I mean, I got my job, I'm running my business. Should I go to church or not? Yes or no? And some people say no. Some people are like, you know what? As long as I believe in the God, I believe in Jesus, I can just go out and do whatever I want. Okay. And then you have those at the other side of the perspective. They are like, do I should stay with God. I should stay with God. I'm gonna stay going to church. I'm gonna stay believing the faith. There are things that I don't really get or understand. You know what I mean? There are things that when they happen, I don't really have an answer to. If somebody tells me something, it could be right, but I'm gonna let them think what they think. I'm gonna go hard. I'm gonna go hard. This book is the only thing I need. That's it. Nothing else. Just this book alone, nothing else. I'm good. Okay. And then you have the person who's somewhere slightly in the middle, leaning towards the left or towards the right. Doesn't matter what point you're at, whatever. But usually what happens is, once a system is made, once a decision is made, people settle on that belief system and fight with all their heart to defend it. Even when someone of a different belief system addresses points that are illogical and inconsistent. If you truly have gone to church all your life, you've been told, you've probably been told at one point or another, there are times where people will come into your life and who will test your faith, test your gangster, test your whatever. And when they come with questions that you cannot answer, people like to go into defense mode. They start deflecting the question. Oh, well, that's a dumb question that has no basis because da 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 da, or I can't listen to you. Your grammar's off. Like, look at you. You look like a bum. They start making fun of people. Or you're wicked. You're evil. I cannot mess with you. You are just a devil trying to consume me. And then there are some people who are just straight up like, bro, I don't know. I just don't know. I don't know. Like, I can't tell you anything. Maybe I could find you a priest or a pastor, to answer the question for you. But in reality, I just don't know the answer. But but what people don't usually like to do or should do, but they don't usually do, is say, yo, maybe that guy is right. Maybe my belief system isn't as concrete as I thought it was. Maybe there are some parts and truth to the things that they're saying compared to the things that I'm saying. And if that's the case, what do I do from here? The greatest way to think in God's purpose. Detach from all belief systems, whether religious, spiritual, political, economical, um, diet wise, whatever, and just be an agent of continuous learning and action. Instead of a mind frame of this is more true than that, so this must be entirely true and the other one must be false, realize no one belief system has the entire truth and we all have pieces to the puzzle of life. Because there is something in life called you choose your own destiny. I talked about earlier the aspect of free will and faith or fate. You do have free will in this context. In this world that we live in today, where you get a job, you get a job, you have a family, you have friends, you can start a business, you can go on social media, and in the everyday world that we live every single day, you have free will and you have a choice. But the second that you decide, I know everything, the one thing I believe in is the truth, and I don't need anything else in my life, you have doomed yourself. Because if you truly believe in the Bible, right, and you truly believe that you know everything and all you're saying is true, why do you need to go to church? Because I thought church was for people who wanted to learn more and reconfirm their faith in God. If you truly knew everything, why aren't you in heaven right now? If you truly knew everything, why isn't your life perfect? If you truly know everything, why do you have problems? Why are you a human? Why are you just, you know, why aren't you teaching it yourself? You know what I mean? You must be to a true freedom, because I'm been like quote unquote bashing the Bible right now. I'm or religious in faiths and beliefs, but I gotta give them credit. When I say everything that we have today, from technology to belief systems, that everything stems from these books, stems from religion and belief systems. They have shaped the course of our history for the past 6,000 years. Like, some people can't even process how long that is. And the messages they're taught in these books are true. But we've gotten to a point where people have become separated, and they're not focusing on the messages of these books, as much as they're focusing on whether or not their faith or their view of reality and their knowledge and their truth, the how they get to the end, is more correct than somebody else's, or their version of the truth has to be fully true. No, nothing else can be the fact or case. There's no way my version of the truth can be infallible. And I'm not saying that you have to follow my version of faith, but I'm just gonna stick to my faith and everything is gonna be good, because I'm telling you, whether you are hard, you are on the side of you must completely convert every person you want on the world in the world, or you on the side of I don't care what anybody believes, I don't believe in anything, on the side of you do you, or I do me. All variations are wrong. All of those different stances are wrong. You must be on a stance of I am I want to continuously learn what is the truth, and I want to take action to spread it. Because the common message across all these books, like I said, and it's even stated, is a source of moral authority, the source of all morality, and finding out how to get in contact with this superhuman being that controls nature, and return to this creator at the end. And the common message I got from this life that you have to be is you must be an agent of continuous learning. You must look at every religion. You must look at every faith, everything. I'm not saying everything is true, because again, some things from this book, this everything we know from these books actually came from something before. But that's another video for another day. But just pertaining to the past 6,000 years of existence till now, everybody believes their one version of truth is the way to do it. Meditation is the way. You know, finding in yourself. Starting a business is the only way. Doing routines is the only way. But mindset, your belief is the only way. Telling yourself you can do it is the only way. You know, grinding it out every day at your job, working 24 hours a day is the only way. The second you yourself tell yourself, my way is the only way, there is nothing else for me to learn, you have lost. If there's anything I can tell you from my knowledge of all of these books, the main message, not whether which book is right or not, which account or whatever is right or not, the main message is this: you must love one another as you do yourself. You must first love yourself, grow yourself, build yourself. Then you must plant your seeds. You must plant your seeds and watch your tree grow. You must plant your seed. You must help other people around you. Not just planting your seed doesn't mean having children. That's not exactly what we mean, or just helping your family. You must you must plant seeds in other people, either through the actions of what you do. Let's say okay, I'm gonna give you an example. Let's say you want to be a cook, and you go on Instagram right now. and you spend 10 years busting your ass, cooking videos, teaching people how to cook left, right, whatever, people are going to love you because you took the initiative to do what you want, go out of your way, spend all your time and energy investing in yourself. And once you finally become a master cook and you are well known and respected, you teach other people how to do it too. I don't necessarily want you to go out and teach people how to become doctors or lawyers because you can't do that. But you know how to cook and you spent time learning how to cook. So you should be teaching people how to cook, holding courses, become a teacher, seminar, courses. You can even get people to pay you to do it. And that's not wrong. Getting people to pay you to do it is not wrong. If you're not willing to invest, and again, that's another thing in the Bible, money. But just trust me when I say this. You can get people to pay you to do it too. And when people pay you, now they are learning, they are investing now their money. The same way how you had to invest money into yourself, they are paying for you to teach them how to do, because now they are investing in themselves. And now they're learning and now they're getting better. And then they become master chefs. They teach other people how to become master chefs. And then them, and then them, and then them, and then them, and then them. Most people see this as multi-level marketing working from the top down. No, that's not how it is. Flip it. It's a tree. You're on the bottom, and then now you're branching off and letting people go on the top. A tree lineage going down is completely wrong. The way we see a tree lineage is a wrong perspective. It is the opposite. You are the bottom, you are the pioneer, and then your people, whether they are related to you or not, are spread out across the world, are spread out. You must love one another. You must grow one another. And that is the only true way to connect you directly with the Creator. That is the bare bones message that we see across all of these books. Everything else is fluff. Nothing else truly freaking matters. It doesn't matter whose version of the prophet is real. It doesn't matter how many gods there are. The main message across all of these books that are the same, which is not random coincidence, like I've been telling you, the main message that is the same across all of these books are not random. They're in there and they say these things for a reason, because they're the only thing that matter at the end of the day. The only thing at the end of the day, love yourself, love one another, build yourself, grow yourself, build one another, grow one another. That's it. That was long, but you know what I mean? I gotta do it to you guys. I gotta do it to you guys. These videos are gonna be trash at first, but trust me, the more I do this, the better I get. You guys are growing along with me. I'm doing these videos, you're doing these videos with me too. We're growing together. We are growing together. These videos are just gonna get better, but you gotta go through the shitty, bad videos first before you can get to the good, great quality videos in the future. It doesn't matter how long it takes. I gotta create my content and spread my will, my way out to you, so you guys can spread your will in ways to one another. And everybody's growing themselves. We live in an era in time like no other, where we are on that precipice of a new era. I'll get more into that in other videos, but right now, I'm telling you, you must love your fellow man, love yourself, grow yourself, love your fellow man, grow your fellow man, and that's it. And then whatever happens at the end, when you finally go poof, you die, you're gone. If you just focused on that, those things, those two things I told you, for the rest of your life until that point comes, no matter what happens, you're good. You'll not only will you feel good, you'll feel it, you'll know you're good. You'll know you're good. And you won't be afraid of anything that happens afterwards. It's been Chris here, 100 Agency. I also have my own business. And if you guys want to talk to me, do some consulting, you want to debate me on any of this, go ahead. You want to debate me on it? Let's go ahead. Catch you guys next.